So here let's start the application and see. I mean, this is like a very first, a very simple demo. I don't want to focus much on the concepts because we are not talking about very advanced concepts here, just like a two module setup, user and author, and how we are able to configure both of them together. So this is the author controller doing some APIs. This is the auth controller doing some APIs with the passport local strategy. So now what we are going to do is simple. We are going to run the project and see. So what I did is npm run start. So it should be able to start the application, and we can see that these are the API docs are available on the Swagger. Let's open it. Okay, here. Right, you can see the Swagger docs, and we are using Swagger module. That's why it popped up the Swagger docs. This is authorized block where you can pass the token. This is the login. If login is true, it's like a mock implementation, right? So we already have this success and data. So this is the token which has been set. I will copy this token and I will just pass this in the authorize close, and I can just try to get my own profile. So try it out, unauthorized. So we will try to see. I didn't test it, test the implementation, but here you can see we are passing the authorization bearer, and I'm trying to access auth me. So it will execute the local strategy. It will check, okay, the token has been generated with a particular secret. It will try to decode it, and then it will check in the mock database. If user exists, then it will return that profile. Now other profiles like get authors. Is this a public API? Not sure. Yeah, this is a public API. So we don't need to, even if I'm passing the wrong token, it will allow me to list all the authors. But here I think this requires some role. So I'm getting appropriate error that 401 unauthorized. So first of all, let's fix the unauthorized, and then we will also set the roles. So this was all about the secret was not being passed properly. So what I did is, for now, I just hard coded the secret, super secret key. So we are using this config module. Config module, I think it looks for the .env.local or something. I will check. So I hard coded it in the strategy here. So it will just create a token. Let's see here. I do the login. I got the token. I copy the token and I pass the token here. An authorized block, and I can get my profile, right? My role is admin, so I can try to create the author also. Yes, I'm able to create the author. I can create many. I'm in conflict exception because I'm passing the same email. Author is created. You can list down all the authors. Author has been added, right? So these are just like playing up with all these different set of APIs, basic authentication, basic guard. So what are principles we discussed here? First of all, how we can use a Swagger docs, how we can write a simple multi-module setup using simple auth controller, auth service, auth module, author controller, author module, author service, how we can use the passport local strategies, right? This is important piece, the JWT strategy, which we are passing, and it is just validating the token. If token is valid, then this payload is passed to this method and this method is using it. So similarly, we have auth controller, auth module, and inside app module, you can see we are importing all the modules, app module and author module. This is our root module. In the main.ts, we are just passing the app module, bootstrapping the application and starting the NestJS application. So this is like a multi-module basic setup I wanted to demo. You can actually take a look onto the code. It's very basic. It's covering the basic fundamental. Don't expect from this demo that I covered a lot of aspects and like everything explained with the passport strategy and all. I already covered the token based and session based, cookie based authentication separate in the separate group videos. So this is all about, okay, how we can play with the validation pipes, interceptors, filters, guards, decorators, how they play the role, right? Here, if you see how we are using the guards here in the auth controller, I'm using the create user because the user is logged in, user session is exist. So this create user object should return the session user object. So this is the guard. Similarly, is public API, this is a decorator, custom decorator which we have created. Validation pipes, We have registered a validation pipe globally. That means all the DTOs will run the validation by themselves. You just need to define a DTO class, use that DTO class in your controller like this, and the validation will be applied automatically. So validation, we talked about controller services, global providers. We have used global providers like this. These are all global providers we have registered at the app level. Interceptors, exception filters, all exception filters and transformer, right? So this is how all things are connected. And from now onwards, we will again talk about some simple aspects of the NestJS, like how to manage the environment variable using env, using .env, how you can customize it. Here I'm passing only, if you see, is global. What if I wanted to rename the env file name? How can I do that? All those small concepts we will try to cover. And I didn't explain this thing, but I will try to explain this in the coming videos. This is to avoid the cyclic dependencies. Sometimes what you have is auth module depends on the author module depends on the auth module. In that case, you will have a potential chance of cyclic dependency. To avoid it, we add a forward reference. So here, auth module is using author module, and author module is also using auth module. So it's a conflict. So you need to use a forward ref in the import, forward ref for author module, and even in the auth service, we are using forward ref or author service. So you need to add a forward ref at the module level and at the service level in the module one. Go to the target module, do the same thing in the author module. If I try to see here also, I have added a forward ref auth module, and inside its service, I will be using forward ref auth service. To avoid, I mean, you can have this kind of a dependency, but we need to tell NestJS explicitly, okay, A depends on B depends on A, let them live peacefully, okay. So this is just a basic simple demo. I tried to cover the basic building blocks. Thanks everyone.